Okay, Vertemati electrical test number 2. We've got this rectifier regulator, we think. It's a 4-wire. So what we're doing is we're coming from our variac over here. That allows us to basically turn this knob up a little bit at a time and get different voltages. We have changed out our bulbs. So we have a new tail light. Couldn't even get that in there. And we've got 2 new headlight LEDs. I tried the halogen bulbs and they worked, but I wanted to see if this would work. These use a whole lot less wattage and produce a whole lot more white light. And then, so we're reading voltage on the DC side here. All right, right now the headlight switch is on. So as I roll this up, we get lights at about 5.8 volts. And over here, when it's loaded, we're seeing 2.7. So now we're going to go up to 12 volts. And we have this really weird sine wave pattern. It's a sawtooth wave. So we're at 13 volts. We have what looks like a pretty damn bright light. And yet over here, it's 7.8. So that's interesting. There's our tail. The brake light has an issue that the wiring here is bad. And if I mess around with this, push this terminal in, the brake light will actually come on. Or it did. Because the front brake is on all the time. Well, anyway, so much for that. I need to fix that. So we have 2 bulbs, and they just point up or down. And I don't know how accurate they really are. They're backwards, so I have to fix that. But here's the next thing. We know that this thing will go up to 21 volts. That's what the output of the alternator will do. So we're at 22 volts here, showing 19 volts here. The headlight is staying constant, which is a good goddamn thing. When I turn the lights off, we're showing 19 volts, 18 volts. So, and then back over here again, we've got our sine wave at 22.8 volts, which needless to say is higher than this thing's ever going to produce. And it's shunting that to ground. That's the only thing it can do to get rid of that power, which means this thing is going to get warm. And it is a little, but not a lot. So I'll go back up, and then that's at 20 something volts. I'm going to go down while we watch this and see at what point it dims. So I'm going to stay right in there. That's at 8 volts. So there it is. Next, I'm going to mess around in here and see what happens if I put both bulbs together on one switch.